Hi, my name's Tommy. You're watching Funk Stylist TV, and I'm joined today by Gemini. And I've no time restraints this time. I'm in a quiet room, maybe with some random French guy in the corner too. And basically, we're just gonna go and talk through Gemini a little bit about his past, where he started. And then the different styles between like US and especially UK and London as well, and then also some of the more political things that are banding around in this present state, like the music and how do you define locking, when does it stop become locking, how does it evolve. So we're gonna quite go into some in-depth stuff. So yeah, thanks again, Gemini. I mean, I've known you for a little while now, and we've been meaning to do this interview for ages, but we've always kind of missed on our diary and stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you, and a pleasure to be here with you for Funk Stylist TV.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay, so we'll just kind of kick stuff then. So let's start from the very beginning. Okay. So let's start with, when did you first start dancing? Not necessarily locking, but when did you first start dancing? And then when did you move into locking?
So the first time I really see dancing was mid-80s. I was very young and I started to see some older guys in my neighborhood, they were dancing. So I didn't know what it was. And right after that, I saw the movie Breaking. So it was around 85, because Breaking the movie was 84, but I think we get it in around 85 in France. So that was my first connection. At the time also, we had in France a TV show called Hip Hop, when a guy named Sydney used to present a TV show about the hip hop culture. So he was showing some b-boying, some popping, locking at the time. We had different terminology, a wrong terminology. In the beginning, we used to call that Smurf. And things like that. It was the white gloves era, you know. And so that's where I saw it. So I was doing a few moves in front of my TV or with my friends, but I was not really into it. I started to really get into it in '89. I changed from my city was Fos. It's called Fos, and I went to Roissy near the airport. And this is where I met a guy named Claes, and he was my first teacher. And his older brother was jazz rock dancers.
Okay.
And this is where I start to really get into it seriously. Like, this is when I started to really wanted to know, okay, what's the different styles and how this works and stuff. So '89 is where I really start to do choreographies, work in the community centers. We have a little room and we were practicing over there. Things like that. So '89. Okay. And then it was the first time I started to do small choreography for shows. I was doing all styles at the time. I was doing a bit of b-boying, popping, locking, everything, but with wrong terminology, and I didn't understand what it was really.
Yeah, you just kind of saw it and think, I want to do that.
Yeah, because at the time, you know, you were watching tapes and clips, video clips. And this is where we just had like those flashes at the quick moment. Different type of music, because we used to listen the 90s music, the 80s. We were very open to every style of music, and also the subculture, like the African culture, the West Indies culture. So it was a lot of clubs. I used to go to clubs very young age with my friends, and we used to do zouk and traditional African dance.
Oh, right, okay.
You can compare it like to soul dancing in America. It's a bit the same. And then at the same time, there were moments they were playing hip hop or funk, and then we were doing other stuff. Okay. So since 15, 16 years old, I was going to clubs all the time with my older friends. So I've seen a lot of things in those clubs. So I was, you know, dancing with girls and also practicing with my friends. Yeah. So '89. '89.
Okay. And that's when you first started. That was the one, the dancing. So when did locking kind of creep in then?
For friends, during the '80s, the older generation of mine saw locking, but they didn't really pick on it. You know, they were more into b-boying, sure. Actual Force and groups like this were really into it, and they bring a level very high actually. And then popping, I mean, animation and waves and stuff like that were pretty famous. Locking was a little bit down at the time, and one of the first for that generation is Junior Almeida. Who had an interest into it, and also start to work with people in Las Vegas. Okay. And lockers from Vegas, and that's how he started to get more information about it. So my generation is more the 90s, so he was from the 80s. And or late 70s. And then so I start to see Janet Jackson videos. During '89 is the Rhythm Nation album.
Yeah.
This is where I saw All Right with Anthony Thomas, Terry Bixler, and Jazzy J, and who else? Yeah, that's for the LSD rockers actually. And I saw them in those videos, and this is where I said, okay, I really want to focus on that style.
Okay.
So I didn't see Soul Train, didn't see all those lockers shows till later.
All right. Okay. So so when you decided to concentrate on locking, so when did you start traveling around to like visiting people? Because that's been a big thing about your life, to meeting and going directly to sources of people, right? So when did you who did you first meet for a start, and then after that, who did you meet afterwards, and who did you learn from?
So I start with my friends from the 93 area, so it's the north side of Paris.
Okay.
I used to live between 95 and 93 area, suburb, and I really start to dance hardcore when I start to hang out in the 3000 block area. Yeah. This is where I met Priska, then Claes, my teacher, and all the jazz rocker from that area. So I will say they are my first inspiration. Beside that, it was the few clips we had at the time. The movie Breaking with Shabba Doo, Anna Sanchez, Shrimp, Taco. Then you had the movie Body Rock with many other dancers, and the videos from Janet, and that's it. Maybe a few clips here and there, documentaries, but it was we had a few videos. So we were just practicing together. We were kind of mix a lot of styles because we didn't know the boundaries and what is what. So it was a lot of mixing. And then later on I started to dance with companies in Paris, where I meet other dancers like Walid, Regis, and others. Many. There's too many names, but like the French scene. And we started to hang out in Paris. So all the different groups used to go to those clubs. We used to meet there, so we started to do shows and choreography and things. So this is how we start to. Was there a regular club that you guys went to? Yeah, it was a lot of clubs. Oh, right, okay. A lot of clubs, and where the people used to really dance. You come in and everybody's dancing. And then the DJ knows at the right time to put certain track. Then circles open up. Dancers go crazy, maybe a few little bows and stuff, and then after maybe an hour, then we go back to the clubs. So it was great area, a great time. And then I met Junior Almeida. I bowed him the first time I met him. Actually, I didn't know who he was. How did that go? Funny. I mean, he was way more experienced than me in locking, but I was pretty aggressive with moves and stuff. So it was a bit. Like it was funny when I think about it now, but it was cool. He knew I was a young cat who tried to be hard, and so then I started to talk to him, and then I started to know him more, and I started to go and train with him, and he's the one actually who really inspired me to make research, because we were practicing in his dance school where we used to teach, and after that we used to go to the little pub nearby, and we were talking for hours about what's the different style, the history, the importance of knowing the history. So I will say that he gave me the envy to really go in the source and learn about different styles and history and names and take some notes and stuff. So he's the one really, I have to give him that for sure. He's the one. Before that, my other inspirational friends or teachers, they were more into watch other people but don't copy them, just do your own thing. Let's do our style. So he was the one who really tell me about the importance of know the history of the dance. So Junior is the one that I really learned from. Like we talk hours. And since then, so it was like 95, 96, and then till after 97 I started to travel. But before that, the first connection with America was the cast from Jam on the Groove. Jam on the Groove was a big show with Roxley Crew, Magnification Force, groups from New York. They were doing that big theater production, and they used to come to France. So Mr. Wiggles, Pop Master Fable, Adesola, and Ken Swift, Crazy Legs, all the whole crew, and later on Style Elements and others joined that company, and they used to come a lot in France to do shows, not to really do workshops
Yeah,
or judge
yeah.
battles. It didn't exist at the time.
Mhm.
It was mostly to do shows, and I spent a lot of time with them. So when they used to come in Paris with a broken English, I was going to the hotel and spend a lot of hours with Wiggles and Fable and Adesola. Those three mainly for locking.
Okay.
And I was asking them so many questions, and I want to know about this. Or sometimes they were telling me, we don't know, you need to go to the West Coast for that, because I was very trying to ask questions about little details. So they were sharing me a lot of information.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them. So they are definitely beside the people I've seen on movies and tapes and stuff, they are physically the first person I really connect with, Gem on the Groovecast. Cool. And Wiggles and Fable actually and Adesola told me, yeah, you need to go to LA if you want to go deeper. So 97, I first moved, I went to New York first. Yeah. Because I knew them. Yeah. And I met a lot of people there. I was also studying a little bit of b-boying and popping. I was interested by street dance in general. Yeah. And 97, I met Mr. Penguin. Yeah. At the Rock City Crew anniversary. It's
Fred Berry, right?
Yeah, Fred Berry. This is the interview I put recently online. And so I don't think I was ready because I didn't know nothing about the originals. Mostly I didn't know much. Sure. But Wiggles and Fable say, oh, look, he's one of the originals. You need to go to see him. And I see that guy and I was like, okay. I don't know him. I never seen him dance, so I don't know. But I went to him. I went to his studio the next day. And he explained me a lot of things. And at the time, I was too young to understand. Because he was showing me very simple move. And to me, it was too easy. Okay. I was young. I wanted to do moves to impress. So, and I was more into a b-boy battle. Like, you know, I was
Give me something I can use to win, kind of thing.
To battle people, because end check, I was like, okay, thank you. I have no reference in my mind, no videos. So after that, I went back to see Fable, Wiggles, and they told me, yeah, but the original lockers, and then they start to show me videos. And then I start to go, okay. So I was like, okay, so that's locking. And then they have stripy socks. And okay. So then next move was 2000. I started to go to LA. Yeah. The reason why I went to LA, because I was interested to go to the birthplace and meet everybody I could have. And the first guy I went in connection was Richie Rich. Yeah. Because he did a tape at the time called The Sacred Art of Locking. It was the first locking tape. Yeah. And when he did that tape, he gave that to a friend of mine named Nell, who was from Vagabond Crew. Yeah. He went to America before me, and he met Richie. So Richie gave him the tape for me. Wow. So he said, oh yeah, my friend is interested about locking. So Richie gave him the tape. I watched the tape, and I contacted him because he has his phone number. Yeah. I'm coming to LA. He said, come to B-Boy Summit. I came over there, and then this is where I connect to everybody. Before that, I forgot also to mention that around the same time, around 97, 96, Electric Boogaloo's came. Yeah. Poppin' Pete, Skitter Rabbit, Suga Pop, Mr. Wiggles, and Poppin' Taco. At the time, I think Suga Pop and Wiggles, they were not into the EBs. Yeah. I think they joined the EBs around that time. Yeah. But they came, and so I learned from all of them, and especially Suga Pop and Skitter Rabbit for locking. They were the two main ones for me at the time. So same, asked them a lot of questions, things and stuff. Then I went to LA in 2000. Yeah. And I met Don Campbell, and the list goes on. Those Caboose, Fluky, Shab, everybody. Yeah. To make a long story short.
Okay, so how long? So you must have spent quite a long time out there, or at least you've visited LA and the West Coast quite a lot, right? Yeah. There's a lot of questions around the different styles around there. So like, was it Orange County style, Valley style, and then there's the what style? I think so. I don't know if you know, but like, can you differentiate the different styles, or where did they originate from, and that kind of thing?
I could have give my point of view.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
If anybody's watching and is more interested, it's better to go to the main ones.
Yeah, of course.
But when I went to LA, so first Richie Rich. So I've learned from him. He explained me his vision, his generation, how it was. So he explained me about chain reaction and also the lockers, and then how the Valley style has been developed.
Yeah.
So Richie Rich was the first one. I will go deeper in the styles after, but
Yeah, of course.
Richie Rich is the one who connected me with the what they call Valley style.
Yeah.
So it was great for me because soon after that I met Terry Bixler, the guy from LST Rockers, the guy that I was watching in videos with Janet. So for me it was like wow.
Yeah.
So Jazzy J, Terry Bixler, all those guys, I met them. So they start to show me their style. And they will say...
Sorry, Valley style is still in LA, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's a part of LA, yeah. They call it Valley style because it's... the people in LA used to call them that. When they were going to club, people say, oh, that's the guys from the Valley.
Yeah.
So they have a certain flavor with their lock.
Yeah.
So that's the first guys I met. Then Richie, I tell him, I want to meet others. So he helped me a lot to go to see other people. He helped me out to connect with other people.
Yeah.
So I went to Campbellock Jr. In his house at the time, and he was like, yeah, you from France? You're interested in locking? Yeah, what? So I went to him. I went to Fluky Luke, everybody, Shab, all the lockers, everybody. Then they show me the original style, like the Soul Train. They tell me about this. I also went to some people from the Soul Train who are not professional dancers. So they have like a clear point of view, very
neutral.
Neutral. So they were telling me a story. So I collect all those infos and stories and things, and I was like, okay, I started to see how this dance became so big.
Yeah.
I also met Chain Reaction because everybody over there was like, "Don't go to see those guys. They're awful and stuff." And then I was like, "Yeah, but no, they're really not good guys." But I went them. I wanted to meet them too. So I went to meet them too a couple times. Very strong opinions, but very interesting, So I went to see them. At the time, they did a very good documentary called Underground Dance Master. It was pretty good, So I went to see them to have their point of view. So I was just going to different people. Everybody got different opinions.
Right.
I went to Shabba Doo also. It was the last one, I think, because he was away, I think, for a little while. Okay. So then I met him. I went to his house.
When was that roughly?
2000.
2000. Okay.
So between 2000 to 2006, I was going back and forth in LA a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot, and I was working and practicing with different guys. Most of the time, every guy I was practicing to was like, "Yo, my style is the best. So don't go to the others."
Right.
All of them, or OGs included. I spent some time with Suga Pop, with Caboose, with Richie, with all of them, like all the OGs, everything. So I was trying to emulate and to get as much as I can.
Yeah.
I also entered the B-Boy Summit competition in 2000. I lost in, I think it was kind of the semi-final, and Flowmaster won. And then I came back in 2001. But if you see the footage, you can see a big improvement as far as the understanding of the dance. 2000, it was like a lot of my ideas.
What you thought it should be.
With a few locking moves, with a lot of capoeira and b-boy stuff and waves, and I don't know, it was mixed
styles.
But the people who were not into locking thought it was good. So, but the lockers were always like, but what you do, you're missing the source. Like, what you can hear nowadays, sometimes people.
And there's a big debate about that, and we'll go into that later. Yeah, definitely.
So basically, I went to all the different styles. So now, the main style I've learned from, it was like, okay, so you have the Valley style, who's technically in the Valley is also where Chain Reaction is from. So there is a difference between what people say Valley style and Chain Reaction. When you have the original style, the Chain Reaction, to me, and that's my opinion, they took the shape of it. And the power moves, they were very good in acrobatic, and they put that to a very high level.
So they refined it.
They really structured that style that they watch on TV with the lockers. I think it was mostly Shab and Fluky. They really emulate what these guys were doing. And they just make it without what people call party dance or soul dance. They were just structured and very domino effect choreography with movement and stuff.
Very rigid kind of thing.
Like straight and a lot of shapes and stuff and acrobatic, but very, very good choreography for the time. Like late 70s, it was very impressive. I've seen some footage when I was with them. I was like, wow, like late 70s, it was very advanced. But I got to say they didn't have that soul party dance
Yeah.
that we always talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't have that much. They were very into straight, sharp, structured,
Very serious
knee
kind
drop
of thing. Yeah.
flips and stuff, and position, but very advanced, like domino effects.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So they had their moment where they were very famous. Then the other people like Richie and the LST rockers, they saw them. And if you talk to Richie or those guys, they will tell you, like, sometimes people like to put Richie with Chain Reaction, but they were enemies. They didn't like each other at all.
Right.
So they're not friends. And also Richie was, so basically they show, and the music changed too, because it's late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
The music is more computer
synthesized.
sharp. Yeah, so it's a bit more sharp in a way, like more computer.
Yeah.
So it's just a different feel. And so they were influenced by the Chain Reaction and the Lockers. I think, to me, Valley Style is kind of a mix of the two.
Yeah.
Because you can see, like Richie, Anthony Thomas, or Jazzy J, the way they lock. You can see a lot of structure.
Yeah.
Like what they call double time.
Yeah.
But in the same time, they have groove.
Yeah. Okay.
They have groove and dancing. You can see
yeah.
like people don't know that Richie and all those guys, Terry and all those guys, they can party dance and stuff.
Yeah.
But when they lock, they
lock. Yeah.
And it was also the late 70s, 80s, a time that the hip hop culture from New York was merging to LA. So B-boys, the popping goes to another level too. It's very animated, like Popping Taco. It's very strong animation and stuff. So the locking had to go
higher,
stronger.
Yeah.
So it's not about saying that it's better or something. I never use I always say development.
Yeah.
Because to me the original style is dope and powerful and crazy and the best style to me. But it just went to a different flavor. The music changed, the structure changed.
Yeah. And
going there and do a few party dance in the cipher was not the moment. You know?
Yeah.
It's not Soul Train anymore. It's clubs from the 80s, like from what I heard, and when you watch the videos, like even the movie Breaking, you see bows.
Yeah.
Locking and popping bows. You see Shabba Doo versus Popping Pete and Taco versus Shrimp.
Yeah.
And you can see like the ambience and the bandanas and the graffiti, the DJ. So it's kind of a different time. So I was not there, but from everybody I've learned from, they always tell me like that moment was tough.
Yeah.
And you have to dance tough.
Yeah.
It was not like it's a different time than the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So that style, many people start to develop choreography also. So all the double time sequences and stuff, they were doing that in unison.
Yeah.
In groups, talent shows, competition, dance club, when they have like a competition of dancing competition. So it become more like choreography based and technical. The technique went like this.
Right.
So for me, the Valley style is like groovy with structure.
Right. Okay.
So you can see it's
a balance though to do the both. Yeah.
You can see some bouncy moves.
Yeah.
Actually, you can see Penguin because again, every flavor on the way come from the original style.
Yeah.
So if you watch at Don Campbell, you will see him do once in a while some point and like double time sequence. Penguin, Shab, Fluky. I think it's mostly Penguin and Shab, from my understanding.
Yeah.
That they pick on it. And they just build from there.
Yeah.
Like 5 points, now we're gonna do 20. But it doesn't mean that they just do like this. Yeah. They're gonna make shapes and angles and stuff. Exactly when you see the development of popping.
Yeah.
When it was not just straight, now the people use the 3-dimension and stuff.
Yeah.
It was the same.
And even like levels as well.
Yeah. And the power move went even more crazier too, and things like that. So it's just development.
Yeah.
Now talking about Orange County style, it's not really an official term.
Okay.
Actually, I came out with that name because I was hang out with Luz Caboose.
Yeah.
Because when I was with Richie, I was also at the same time hang out a lot with Caboose, and I noticed that it was very different. Their vision of locking was different. The way they interpret the dance was different. And Caboose was very about a bounce.
Yeah.
And a certain way of doing move and take the time and breathe and stuff. It's a different approach. So I was very interested about that too. So I spent some time with Caboose.
Is it kind of like a laid back approach?
Yeah, but powerful still.
Oh yeah, okay.
Caboose, when you see Caboose, you can see, in my opinion, 2 big characters. You see the very showman, happy on the stage, and then you see the guy, the more Chicano, like strong, like circle guy. You know, he can do that. So, but I loved him, and you know, I spent a lot of time with him, and he was showing me like that breathing, that take your time to feel the music and take your time. So, and at the time I was like, wow, to me that's your style, that's your Caboose style. And he said, no, I cannot take a name of for this
style,
and he explained me like it started mostly from Penguin, and then Tony Gogo picked on Penguin a little bit, like that bounce that you can see in Tony Gogo style. So he also developed something, and then Caboose learned from those guys. So it's kind of a bouncy feel. And it's like, it's very groovy, it's a dope style, you know. To me it's just different flavors. And so later on I was like, yeah, but how do I define this style? Because I think it's locking will be stronger if we define styles or flavors. Flavors maybe is better to say. So he said, oh, you should call that Orange County style, because it's like, it's from that area that we developed that groovy thing, because the lockers used to hang out there. So it was very different than what Richie was showing me, or Anthony Thomas and those guys. So, okay, Valley style, in my mind was like, okay, there's the Valley style, and then you have the Orange County, so I was practicing both. And the original style, like when you see Don Campbell, who's the Campbellocking, freedom of expression, be yourself, just a few locking technique, but beside the lock, and then you have to develop your character and yourself. Then after that, you have Scooby-Doo, Greg, and all the others
that I did on top.
Had to make choreography, who had to structure, and they all analyzed Don. This is where the name, the Uncle Sam point, the lock, the thing that came on the way, because from my understanding, it become more technical. Because then everybody brings some signature move, and so to me, there always been a difference between Campbellocking and locking, because Greg, rest in peace, and Don, they were saying different things. So to me, I was not thinking who's right, who's wrong. I was thinking like two different point of views. So I must have to say, Don Campbell talk about Campbellocking himself, and I think it's a really good. It's the beginning. And because he couldn't do the soul dancing. So he started to lock his body. And that's why it's funny sometimes when people talk about soul dancing, because he couldn't do it. That's what he said.
That's true. True.
He was just doing 2 steps, clapping his hand and lock.
Blowing kisses too.
Do like this and entertain the crowd and be powerful, because he was very powerful, and he's the father for sure. It's not to separate or divide people, but it's just to
accept the differences.
Understand that how it works from Campbellocking to locking, to the different areas. You also have to me, the Vegas flavor. If you go in Las Vegas, the way they lock in Vegas at the time, it was more like a show, like Las Vegas with glitters and nice costume. Their interpretation is another flavor to me. You don't hear many people talk about it, but it's, to me, was pretty strong, because they did a lot of things, a lot of shows in Vegas and on TV.
It has to be presentable, right? For entertain people.
And all those flavors got different timing, different feeling, different structure, or different shapes. Some are very straight because they have to have that presentation. Some are more down, groovy. And to me, it's really interesting to see that, and to put those names on it is just to have an understanding when we talk about it. Where are we now? And from the 70s to the 80s, the 80s locking was still present, hardcore. All those movies and stuff, and locking was there. So it's not just the 70s anymore. Now you have the 80s, and the 90s is mostly LSD Rockers and Anthony Thomas choreographing for Janet Jackson. So he developed a different military style. Who also is a style from the old school, like Greg Campbellock Jr. used to tell me about the military style. So it's more like, not style, let's say flavor. Flavor. Like when you become like more like a military structure. So when you see all those different flavors, they always relate to the original style.
You can see the development from
So being structured or like this, very strict, is not something that didn't exist in the 70s, because some lockers were doing like this. Actually, when you watch the lockers, the first Don Campbell group, you can see that Penguin is very bouncy.
Yeah.
You can see that Shab is very clean in his move.
Mm-hmm.
So who's wrong, who's right?
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's just personal, and it's just different flavors.
Yeah.
And from the main ones, from the lockers,
Yeah.
because they really started all.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's no question about that. People pick up on their favorites and develop styles.
Yeah.
So I think the Valet were more into Shab and Penguin because they were doing like some sequences. Fluky also was actually called that speed locking.
Yeah.
He told me that they were doing slow and then they start to do
Really fast,
fast points and stuff. So nothing wrong to be fast because Fluky is doing it too.
Yeah.
So then the people were more strict and they want to be more sharp and clean. Others want to be more groovy. So this leads to the different flavors in different areas.
Yeah.
And then we received that in Europe.
Yeah.
And Europe, the main place who started all to me was London.
Yeah.
The old school
so
guys.
When did that come over? Do you know roughly?
It must be early 80s, late 70s, early 80s when Jeffrey Daniels and the guys start to go to London
to
and
tour and stuff.
Also some videos.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And the generation over there, the London guys, they were very influenced also by the boogie dancer.
Mm-hmm.
So London, of course, you have to be
pristine, proper,
gentlemen. Very nice presentation and stuff. So when they adapt the locking, they adapt their English flavor to it, and they pick more. I think in the early days, more like on the 80s, they were very on the dancers from LSD Rockers and that. So it's just you can see. Like House of a Quiet Storm, you can see Twilight Players. The way they lock is very sharp, clean. A big influence from the Valley style, definitely, and also the lockers and stuff. Yes, but at the final flavor, you can see they're very influenced with the structural stuff. And
with the Valley style.
And the attitude. I think it fits more.
It fits more with the performance pieces.
So this is where London starts. From London, they were very big at the time in France, and besides Junior and a couple of others, they were doing a little bit of locking moves. Nobody was really into it. So I think London was definitely the place. Then from London, it emerged to different crews in Finland, Sweden, like groups like Out of Control. At the time, it was mostly Battle of the Year. The thing started also the B-boys.
So the videos started coming out, that kind of thing.
Videos. Then you see some guys do choreographies, locking choreographies. So it merged to France. Also, we start to see those things. At the same time, you have also, again, the guys from New York, Wiggles, Fable, Adesola, for the main part. So we are all, and everybody was doing different flavor and stuff. It was not the original style.
But you can still sell it as locking, and you can, that's traceable back,
At the time, nobody said it's wrong. It's just different flavors. And it fits with the music. No rules, like you have to do this or you have to do this. It was just like, okay, it looks like this. Everybody interpret with what they got. And I think late 90s, more information come, internet. So now more. I started traveling also, and I think a few others start to move in different things. I used to go a lot in LA, so 2000 to 2006. And especially in the early 2000, I was doing a lot of interviews, bringing a lot of footage and information to Paris. So we used to spread all the information. Some people stopped, like in London, the first generation, they kind of stopped a little bit. They were a bit doing some other things. So, that's how I tried. It's a lot of things.
It's a big thing
to make it like this.
That's right.
So, and all those things. And in early 2000, like in France, we start to do events with battles and organized battles. I don't think it was existed before. I'm still looking for Japan, but I think from what they told me, they never did battle before. Like early 2000, we start to do like 2-on-2s on stage with judges and stuff. And I remember at the time the comments on YouTube were like, "Wow, battle with locking is very interesting." And so we start to develop that. Simply because they were doing it with b-boying and then popping. So
So why not locking, right?
Locking came
Did
out.
some people? I'm guessing because a lot of people refer locking to as a soul dance, right? Did some people not like that as well? Did it cause controversy?
Of course. But you know, to me, it's not because it's come from soul and that era that you cannot do enough something else. You know?
No, because well, they were battling as well anyway. They just didn't do it in a more formal.
Yeah, they were call it turnout. I'm gonna
cut you up.
I'll cut you up.
Yeah,
you know, like OG Skid used to say. So it's the competition aspect always been around. You go even before the soul culture. You go to African culture. The challenging each other with dancing and stuff. It's something you can find in tribes. So we're far away at the source. You know? So it's something like you can find in different cultures and stuff, like to challenge yourself, celebrate life with dancing and having a good time. The word battle come from the b-boys. They started all on stage. At first, the b-boying, when they start to do battle on stage, like people like Ken Sweet, they were saying that it's not designed for that. But it became huge. And I think it helps the dance to grow.
Definitely. It expels exposure, right?
Exposure and also a different option. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Just go to clubs. But nowadays, I think battles are very important because it's a big part of the scene, you know. And I think if it was not on those battles event, if you take out locking,
it would be lower, right?
I think so.
And to be honest, like I think I'm glad you kind of mentioned that, because you could see like a lot of competitions now over the past 2 years or even 3 years, even that locking category has been removed from the same. I mean, just dropping one as the UK B-Boy Champs was probably the most like influential, and locking kind of dropped from there, and then suddenly other people were starting to follow suit, as in not to put lock in their categories. I mean, I don't know if you know, because I'm obviously not like a events promoter, but why do you think that is, and how can we make it? How can we bring that back and you make it, bring it back into the competition?
I know a lot about this because I'm behind a lot of events. Like I'm consultant for many events. In the early 2000s, I organized many things in France. Sometimes people don't remember that. I bring many guests in France because people in France couldn't go to LA. I was fortunate and blessed to go there. So I bring many OGs. I bring many people up there. I can mention a few. I bring great Campbellock Jr., Richie Rich, Caboose, Suga Pop, Anna Sanchez, Shabba Doo. I mean, I connect with a lot of people for them to go to Europe and stuff. I did Obsessive Funk. So when I met them at that time, and people in France were organizing event, that's what people don't know about, is because at the time locking was very small. The guys were doing event. They were like, okay, we need some b-boying battle, popping battle, and hip-hop. Locking we don't really need. So the deal was like this: I'm going to help them to connect with the b-boys in America and things, and help them out with the event. And then in exchange, they have to do a locking
a battle,
battle, and invite some guests. So Sally Sly at the time was one of the big organizer before Just the Boo, and we had deal like this. Like I help him out to bring, because I knew a lot. I'm very connected with the b-boy scene in LA, so I knew many people, and I was helping him to connect with those guys. But in exchange, he had to organize a locking contest. So many people, like the people I mentioned, came. And this is where like people in France start to connect with all those guys and get more information. So I bring them out in France. We did shows and conference. I translate a lot of conference for the lockers and the EBs. I did all those things to help the scene to grow, because I thought that they need information. And sometimes I was going there, coming back, saying things, and they were not listening to me because they think, oh, he's from France, he doesn't know
anything.
So I was saying exactly the same thing, but when these guys come, that nobody was complaining about. So all those things start to become bigger. And for the situation you mentioned about the UK champs, and I'm part of the family of the UK champs. So I judge many events over there. One of the last, it become, the problem was because people were entering battle without battling. They were coming in a soul train way. We're coming here to have a good time and dress kind of very
funky,
loud,
very
loud, like big
to
colors,
do a more like hat. To do a show, right?
Like more to do a show, to smile, to Gemini. Nothing wrong with that, but when you have UK champs with strong battles,
Yeah.
Popping was also a funk style,
Yeah.
and, you know, from
but they go
Soul
hard
Connect.
too.
They go hard too, and then you have the guys coming out and jumping around and don't really have locking skills.
Yeah.
They have nice personality, they might be good dancers, but it was not, the level was very low.
Yeah, yeah.
So the public who pay the entrance wants to see
Something
strong
high.
shows and
Yeah.
strong moment. So they were a bit like, you can feel the crowd go down,
Yeah.
and us judging like, wow, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like, it's hard to judge because it's like one guy doing his show and versus another guy who's doing a show. Sometimes some funny outfits sometimes. So in the UK Champs environment, it didn't fit in.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember the last time they did the battle, I talked to Uch and I said, man, if you take out locking, I will not say anything.
Yeah.
Because I understand as an event, you cannot let this go.
Yeah. Of course.
And if you let people, and the qualification was poor also because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are confused. It's not about they not dance good or something. I think it's because they're confused about, I come out and I do a Soul Train line, but people want to see belts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's
They want
just
that
different.
aggression, don't they?
It's aggression or power.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah. The power. Sorry. Yeah.
When you look at Don Camo, the lockers, it's powerful. Sorry to say, the costume looks like them, but the skills don't look like them.
Yeah.
So this is where we start to see like people like singing the song and act silly or funny to get the crowd, but the crowd was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. I want you to dance, not sing
And then
to it. Yeah.
at the same time, you see the popping level going strong and like clear.
Yeah.
You can see people smile also, but they're strong when what they do.
Yeah.
And the b-boying is even more crazy.
Yeah. Of course.
So locking out. Other events, I mostly connect with all the events in Europe. So they were telling me, man, we would like to have locking, but we don't want those guys, those funny guys coming in. It's going to break the vibe. You know, we want a real underground vibe or something really deep. We don't want those clowns coming out.
Right.
So can you come and do a show or something like this? Because we still want to have locking, but we don't want those guys like funny, they dress funny, they look around, they go, bah, 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 bah. They doesn't bring something that they want. So many events start to take out locking.
Right.
Also the music, because they were complaining like, it's always the same music, it's boring.
Yeah.
In b-boying, it's mostly the same music, but look at the development and look at what they do.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's entertaining and it's skill. The skills are very higher. So locking was just like funny.
Yeah.
And that's why many events start to take out and they replace it by hip hop or house sometimes, who looks more like serious.
Yeah.
So the first edition of Just the Boo, if you watch the few first editions, you will see some funny outfits, some funny people running around. And so and it's a big confusion because, you know, people do that because they think they're soul and funk. And look at James Brown, man. I don't see James Brown running around and act funny and silly. So they're gonna say, I'm soul, and then they have no technique, they just jump around. So
but there's a place for everything though, right? If you're entering a competition, then you would expect to compete, you know?
You prepare.
Like, to prepare, compete, and like try to beat the other person. But so if you're showcasing then or partying, then you can just leave that in the clubs or for a client elsewhere, that kind of thing, right?
And it's a different time. Like if I dance with my girlfriend, I'm not gonna dance and do knee drops in front of her.
Some people do that, you know, in clubs. Maybe. I've seen that done.
Maybe one, but I'm not gonna be 50. I don't know. She would be like, well, you know, I dance with my girlfriend. It's different. I dance with my friends, and we want to challenge each other. It's gonna be a different vibe. So now you're entering a competition when you have judges and stuff. Actually, some judges, they are against it, but they're judging it. That's another funny thing I've seen during the years. They're against battle. They say to everybody, it's a bad thing, but then they're judging it. I guess it's because maybe they want to say that battle is not the only thing and it's killing the club vibe. But to me, it's not killing the club vibe because
the club side's always there.
You can go to the battle and then after to the after party or to the club. Why do you have to pick one or the other? That's my question. I really believe that battles help locking to come back strongly.
And it certainly did, you know. I mean, a lot of people did see those footages of like UK champs just to do that kind of thing, and they kind of started to, I want to do that style. And that's not really, that kind of mentality is not really that old. That's what, like 2000, late 98.
And we have a couple of good ones like Pillock and Jimmy Soul versus the
Yeah.
Go-Go Brothers.
Yeah,
and
the
Wicked
classic
Champs.
one. Classic.
I remember
yeah.
that one. Even the B-Boys were coming back from backstage
Yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah, and I mean, being connected in the b-boy circle as well, they like lots of people say, "Oh yeah, I saw this battle once." I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's that one, it's
But
like iconic one."
Funny is because you see sometimes people say, "Who's your favorite lockers?" or Pillock and Go-Go Brothers, and when they start to lock, you go, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, you don't
far
look at
away.
it. Yeah.
Very far away. So you see Pillock and Jimmy, they practice strong, they have strong routines.
Mm-hmm.
Go-Go Brothers also. To me, I give it a tie at the time. I wanted to see one
Say no
more
more.
round. It was very strong, and yeah, that's what we see. We need to see that all the time, no matter what the level is. But at least you can see the determination. Like,
Yeah.
I'm coming here because I'm entering a competition,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I practice for it. Sometimes, most of the time, you see guys. It's like they come from the crowd. They enter like they never practiced before.
Yeah.
And this is what I think sometime online you can see some guys like talking a bit strong. People get offended. It's not like because they want to be bad or something, or they're talking.
It's a competition.
Yeah, they want to see skills.
Yeah.
Me too. I want to see skills. When I'm watching popping battles, there are skills.
Yeah.
And another thing I like to say is when you watch Just the Boo final nowadays.
Yeah.
In Paris, my friend Nasty, who's the host.
Yeah.
All the time at the final is doing a few foundation moves.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see finalists, they're struggling doing those moves. And I'm sure if you take all the poppers from the final on the side and you ask them, who's popping taco? Who's Boogaloo Sam? Show me a twister flex. What is waves?
They would know.
What is a puppet? What is Toyman? All those things they know. If you ask the same question to the locker, they will be like, they don't even know.
Yeah.
So I think the knowledge about b-boying, about popping, is way higher than the knowledge of locking. I mean, many people don't know.
Yeah.
And you have many talented young dancers now who came like a few years back. They're good, they're talented, they dance well, they freestyle well.
Yeah.
But they're missing a lot of
Foundation
things.
and stuff.
And when you tell them foundation, they think they have it.
Yeah.
But you can see when they do a move, it's always like no coordination, no control. And this is why, like, to me, that makes the difference. That's why the locking scene always looks like poor.
Yeah.
Because knowledge. If you watch a locking battle nowadays and I say, okay, can you display 3 styles or 3 flavors?
Yeah.
And the people will look like, what
What do you mean flavors?
And they know what they know is James Brown, the Lockers, Soul Train. That's it.
Yeah, but obviously
And
there's a
then
lot
you say,
more.
what happened after
Yeah.
Probably because some of their teachers told them like everything else is wrong, so they don't try to think from themselves. They just listen, so they close.
Yeah. So.
But in popping, no, it's also a dance from the 70s.
Yeah.
Also a dance, like I wrote recently on the Lockers United about this. When I say it's connected to soul.
Yeah.
If you cannot party dance and do those soul steps, you cannot be a good popper.
Yeah.
You cannot be a good b-boy because if you listen to every OGs, they will tell you the importance of clubs, party dance,
And that feeling, right? That feeling, yeah.
Even if you're a b-boy, you listen to Wiggles, and they always talk about the importance to dance with a girl, to party and stuff. So I don't think it's just for locking; it's for every dance style. So popping is connected to soul dance too.
Yeah.
And it's been developed during the funk era, but it's connected to soul.
Yeah.
That's why the electric boogaloo is dancing in Soul Train.
Yeah.
The Soul Train from the 70s. And now you don't see the poppers come out, pop, and start to do soul dance move in the middle of their solos.
Yeah.
Because the soul is inside.
Yeah.
When you watch Pop and Pete dance, it doesn't dance like he used to dance in 72.
It's changed.
It's very changing.
Yeah.
You see, and I've watched him for many years. You can see the different phase and how it changed things, and the music is listening to every style of music. He's open. He's an artist. To me, we are artists before lockers. It's not a military school. So then you have other people, they think differently. They want to keep it a certain way, a certain flavor. I'm not against that, but I'm against it when they say everything else is wrong. That's where I disagree. To me, being wrong is when you are not with the music. Or if you pop with your shoulder like this, that's wrong for popping. And if you unlock your body, it's not
and just roll everywhere.
But some people, they will see that, it's freestyling, it's more creative. No.
But yeah, I mean,
He just don't control his body.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean that's one of the questions that I had before. I mean, there's a lot of in the battle. There's a lot of controversy with like people that are winning over people that have really strong styles. I think just one off the top of my head that I read caused controversy was like Kenzo Shuffle versus Funky Ricky at I can't remember, what was it?
Ray.
Or was it Ray? Yeah, sure, Ray. Yeah. I mean, both know the kind of they know their vocabulary and foundation, but they just have different style. Kenzo obviously is very structured and straightforward, and Ray is still very creative. But there was a lot of arguments say like Ray didn't lock as well, and Kenzo should have won because he was technically stronger. But where do you think about that? You know, like people that creativity versus technicality, I guess, is the argument, right?
Yeah.
And where do you draw the line?
Yeah. To me, it depends the context. If I'm into a locking contest, I want to have somebody who knows how to lock and create from there. There's some guys out there that don't really know how to lock because they want to go too fast.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like I did when I was in my early days and I was doing a lot of things. Penguin told me that. He said, wow, that's very interesting, everything you do. But show me a few locking moves that I know, like foundation move. And he started to show me up, lock, Scooby-Doo, point. And I was like, okay. And I want to be myself. I want to do my style. I want to be so fast and doing so many things that he was like, yeah, but later. Wiggles told me the same thing, actually. He said, yo. And Wiggles is the perfect example, actually, because he was already very famous.
Yeah.
For us, he was like the number one in the world.
Yeah. And still is in many cases.
Yeah. And but especially at the 90s, Wiggles was the big name for popping. But then when he started to tell us like, no man, I have to put that on the side. I need to learn the Fresno. Yeah. We were like, what? He said, yeah, I have to learn the foundation. And we're like, yeah, but you're already why? Because I need. And then he said, do the same. Go back, learn the ABCDs. Yeah. And then you can bring your things and stuff.
Yeah.
So when people say creativity, to me, it's not creativity. It's just freedom of expression. They just do what they want and they do a few lucky moves. Yeah. And the thing is, most of the time online or in life, they see that they think it's an aggression when we say that about them. Like, no, this is not. I don't know them personally. I don't have a problem with them. But it's just that they're coming out in a scene that people built for years. Yeah. We know that this is the problem when it's not strong. That we take that locking contest out. Yeah. So the only way we can bring it in to bring high level. When you look at P-Lock and Go-Go Brothers, they both know how to lock. Yeah. Really. Yeah. And they both have their touch and their flavor. Yeah. They don't look like the lockers. They have their touch.
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. So other people, they have great sense of dancing. They have great character. So they can connect a lot with people. Yeah. Some people love them, and if you tell them a critique, they take the piece. Now it's like, oh wow, oh you know, I say your foundation is not good enough. Yeah. Oh, but why you? They don't accept.
They have They take it personal, right? Instead of just having it as feedback.
Yeah. It's I'm older than you, and there's even older people telling them online sometimes say, hey, listen to me. I got nothing against you. I'm telling you that you're missing the element. It's not this. Yeah. Because some of the people you mentioned before, they came to my class, they don't do it, they cannot control their body because they're so used to I'm freestyling. But that's fine, that's good dancing. But if you put that in the context of locking, we want locking skills first. And then on top of that, you can
add your own everything after. Yeah.
Look at all the lockers, the original lockers, they all know how to lock. You can see they know their move. None of the lockers were throwing their arms and jumping around. Even Don Campbell, you can see the structure of his dance. Yeah. So that's what we expect. That's what we call the original style, like the foundation. Yeah. Can you do this move? Can we feel that breathe, that stop? And then on top of that, you can inject whatever you like. And me, I'm in a good position to talk about it because I did a lot of mixing and stuff before I knew the original style. Yeah. So I exactly know where they're coming from. And then I did like I stopped, I learned the foundation. This is why for many years I was doing judge demos and people
Yeah.
were like, oh, but there's nothing, it's very simple. And yes, because it's quality, simple moves.
Yeah.
Because I had to digest this. Easy for me to run around and jump, throw my arm and sing the song
But
and do a show.
miss beats and crashing.
That's not the art form. So when I see guys doing this, I can see they have talent. Just work on the skills. And to me, there's a few actually who, if they work on that, they're gonna be so dangerous and untouchable that I still don't understand why they don't do the work.
Yeah.
And it's never personal, really. I don't have anybody I hate or something.
Yeah. It's just that element
when
to
you
get
see
strong.
Pillock, he knows. You just watch Pillock do up lock, wrist roll point. This is perfect to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Because
look like,
his lines are very perfect.
yeah. To me, being clean with his style is one of the elements. Now you want to be more unpredictable and crazy. That's another skill, but based on control first. And most of the time, the people who like to play like the uncontrolled, I go and point like in every direction like this, that's cool, but they cannot do the simple things because they're so used to go crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do what I want. I don't care about what you think. I do what I want. And they're like very young, talking to adults.
Yes.
Or talking to
young
older,
arrogance.
And they say, I don't mind. Yeah. But me, I was in the same situation because people were telling me, that's cool, but you don't do.
Yeah.
Richie Rich was telling me, you're not on beat. Wow, what do you mean? I'm a dancer. I know I'm on beat. No, you don't clap on the pocket. You're not in the pocket. And when I found out, those Caboose tell me, take your time, finish the move, don't go too fast, and take your time, breathe. So I learned, I listened to their critics.
Yeah.
I didn't front them and say, no, I do my style.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference. I think after my generation, after the early 2000, then we lost something because the guys came. Sometimes they become very famous quickly.
Yeah.
They have a big fan base.
Yeah.
And that's the fan base who's going to protect them if we say any critics about them.
Yeah.
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Why are you doing this about him? He's so good. And maybe he's good. Maybe he's a nice person. And I'm not talking about this. I just want the art form to be stronger.
Yeah.
And him to do his work like we all do. And I'm still doing it. I'm not saying that I'm done now. I know everything. I'm still learning things. And actually, I see a lot of good things. I'm not like some people who say the scene now is bad. I think I see a lot of talent.
There's a lot of people about.
Yeah.
They just need to refine it.
Just a few can shut up and listen and try to understand what the others are here just to help you out.
Yeah.
We're not here to stop you, or we're not jealous, or we don't want you to grow. And no, we want the opposite.
Yeah.
And they forget sometimes, like, I'm perfectly in between. The old school guys and the new school guys. I'm in between. So I really understand both sides. And like Pillock says sometimes, we just need to work. This guy needs to work, work, and then nobody will say anything after that. You see A-Train, for instance, good example.
Yeah.
He knows his foundation perfectly.
But then he tried to develop, right?
Then he tried to develop.
And a lot of people controversial.
Sometimes, to me, I think he go a little bit too far. I told him that face to face. But that's his decision. But I will not say he doesn't know how to lock. That's not locking.
Yeah.
I know he knows how to lock because I've seen him many times. He had actually a really dope style.
Yeah.
I really love his style. And then from there, he decided to develop in a way. And sometimes I like, sometimes I don't like.
Yeah.
And it's the same with some people. I watch people. It's not like this teacher or that guy. I always love him.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch some guy, I'm critic. I don't like today that solo was okay.
Yeah.
Better day here, good day here. This one I don't know. And I think people sometimes they're so much into protecting their friends that they don't accept anybody to tell them a critic.
Yeah.
But critics to me is here to make you
better
things.
To make
when you have people like 40 years in dancing, 30 years in dancing, should you listen? Like, I don't know, every time I'm talking to OGs or older than me, recently I was with Link and Demon Frost and I asked them questions. What do you think about this? What do you think? And they give me some tips. And you know, when you ask others, sometimes they might say things you don't understand or you disagree, but you do that process
Yeah.
of learning.
Yeah.
So if you're 20 years old and you don't want to listen and you don't want to do, you become very arrogant. And then you want the success, you want to enjoy those locking contests who make you become famous.
Yeah, and then you're surprised like
But
why people are attacking you then.
Yeah, but the same people, like I'm one of the first to organize events like this. So if we have those locking battles, I'm one of the guy who helped those things to be developed.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good position to say, hey, you know, because I'm judging and I also been inside battles, even recently in Locking Up. To me, it's just a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem. I win, I lose, I feel good, I dance good.
Yeah.
I don't feel good, I lost. You know, and so I don't understand why they don't listen.
Yeah.
Why they don't have that communication. Like my generation, we've been educated in the dance style, in the dance culture by listening the elders.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, in my family, I don't talk to my dad like this. I don't talk to my older brother like this, you know.
Yeah.
And they claim the soul, the thing. No, it's not because it looks like it was the beginning, like everybody was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Don Campbell start something. And then everybody follow in that direction. So better to know all those things. And I think when you're young, you're so much in the envy to become yourself and do your style that sometimes you want to go too fast.
Yeah.
And to me, you need to respect everybody, not just Don Campbell and Soul Train Gang,
but everybody that came before you.
Everybody who came before you, because of those guys, you are here now.
Yeah.
If those guys didn't exist, there is no locking battles, no events, and you will not be a locker.
Yeah.
You know,
so I kind of like that's kind of the ethos for Locking for Life as well, isn't it? So like it's like respect the past, that kind of thing. Could you explain the Locking for Life movement, if that's all right?
Yeah. Locking for Life at first is a concept.
Yeah.
It was a concept we started in the early 2000, right after Obsessive Funk.
Yeah.
I worked with my good friend Priska, my best friend Priska.
Yeah.
Because we grew up together. He started dancing at the same time as me.
Yeah.
And then he went to school, seriously in program, computer things, and I was dancing in clubs. So later on, we found out again and found each other, and then we started to work on something. So he was asking me about what's happening in the dance scene now. I explained him. And by noticing that, because I was starting to travel, I was noticing that people were a bit stuck sometimes. Like they was talking about locking music, and you have to lock only those music. You have to dress like that to be a locker. You have to wear hush puppies to be a popper. You have to have stripy socks. And it was a bit like, wow, this is very like this. And I believe that it was very limited. It was very not good.
Restricted.
And at the same time, I was listening to Don Campbell, to Greg Campbellock Jr. and all those guys. They were talking about open, express yourself, change, be open, you know, be interested, be. So I was like, how do the creators say something like this?
And then everybody else is like,
everybody goes like
this. Yeah.
So we decided to do a concept because I did a few modeling years. I work with a lot of photographers. I always love photography and videos. Priska also. And I got skills to do website and stuff. So we decided to do a website. And on that website, originally it was supposed to be overall locking, like a Locking for Life TV with interviews, documentary, pictures of the lockers, different.
Kind of what I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
Hey!
So something like that, right? And then at the time it was a French website called Style de Ouf.
Yes. Yeah.
A friend of mine named Kemp.
Yeah.
And when I talked to him about this, because I asked him about some tips about doing interviews and stuff, and he told me, oh, don't do that, man, because sometimes you do an interview with some guys, and then when you put it online, they ask you for some money.
Oh, really?
Because they say you're using my image. The next step was like, okay, if I put photography of the lockers, you have to send money to the people. So I was like, what? I want to give them respect and tribute, but then at the same time, they ask me to pay money. And I was like, how do we go out of this? So Priska and I, we thought, and we said, okay, we want to refresh the image of locking, based and connected to the original style, and also show the different thing till the future, all around locking, fashion, the music, the different gender, different flavor, the different things, different concept, photography concept about locking. So we came out with the ideas like, okay, we're gonna make the first website based on my pictures,
Yeah.
then there's no problem with
Yeah.
nobody, because at the same time, some stories happen with some OGs attacking some people because they were using their image.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was the same time we were working on the website when you see those things online, those fights, because people put a picture of somebody and something. I will not mention names, but you can have an idea. And then we say, okay, we don't want any problem, so I'm gonna write my vision about the history, use my photos to show that diversity. Then we came out with the I'm a Locker too.
Yeah.
And it was about not a good and a right way. It was just two different opinions.
Yeah.
Like with the same guy actually.
Yeah.
And he was also playing with my character as a Gemini.
Yeah.
So it's like the old school mentality versus the new school guy. They were talking each other.
Yeah.
About the dress code.
Yeah.
About the music. And it was like early 2000, right?
Yeah.
Because at the time it was very stuck. In France, many people were telling me, no man, Jamiroquai is not the locking music. Many lockers that you see nowadays dancing to Jamiroquai, they were saying that to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I was dancing to New Jack Swing, and they were like, no, that's not a locking music. This is for hype, Running Man, and this is for popping, this is for big. And I was like, I understand what they mean. Because of course, if you tell me, give me a locking music, I will give you, okay, James Brown.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. But to me, it never been stuck like that, because remember, I started to watch locking by breaking, body rock, LSD rockers and Janet Jackson. All right, it's a New Jack Swing music.
Yeah, so these are all different kind of music genres, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That, but locking in there.
Yeah, connected to, and it looks cool. Many videos. I was like, okay, and I look at the London guys, Twilight Player, all those guys, the House of a Quiet Storm, many influence. Campbellock Jr. coming teaching on hip hop music. Fluky, Shab, I was practicing with Penguin on hip hop. All those guys, they use Justin Timberlake songs and hip hop and new school, and Scooby Doo came later and used New Jack Swing. I remember the first time I went to his class, I was with some French lockers and I told them, oh, tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong because New Jack Swing is wrong, because that's what they were saying at the time.
Right.
To show how people were stuck.
Close.
Just because one teacher told them this is the way, listen to me. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I can understand the people who try to protect like the original
heritage,
thing, and they don't want, they're scared that this is gonna go too crazy.
But you can still do that whilst adding on stuff like that. Yeah.
So Locking for Life, that's the reason why we start the concept too. We're gonna upgrade all around that beautiful art form. Upgrade the photography, the concept, the videos, because we got the skills for that with locking to make it stronger.
Yeah.
As far as all the new technology you can use now, the effect, the things. So we play with this, and we did those videos, those things to just make it more accessible for the new school generation.
Yeah.
But you know, no matter how you go in, the next step will be, okay, you like that style, so now you need to go back to the source.
Yeah.
So the people who are afraid that it's going too crazy, they don't understand that as long as people get an interest to it, the only way they will have to progress is to go back to the soul, soul era, party dance, soul dancing, foundation step. So that's the only way you can progress, no matter what flavor you want to do.
Okay.
You cannot do Valley style, Orange County, or any styles if you do not practice and understand and try and practice the soul era, the 70s. That's not possible. And that's why, like, it was just to make it. Then it went on, and then later on we start to do like many concepts around rocking, many photography things. We start to make photo about all the locking scene in the world. We start to feature more people. Because we just have the skills. Me and Priska were really good with those things, so we just use our skills. That's my job. I do that as a professional. So I do provide things, you know. Some people, they just do shows. Some people just do balls. I try to do it all.
Everything,
And I love the fashion. I always love clothing and stuff. So I use that too in my work. I like to give a good impression. I like to dress nice when I lock. I like to have a nice suit. Maybe the next week I will be with stripy socks. The next week I will be with the hip hop gear. You know, I like to be open. And this is what we start to do. Then it become to a point, like OG Skater Rabbit went to me and said, man, you have a movement now. It's not just a concept, it's a movement, because you have so many guys interested. And the thing is, it's a big family. It's not a crew.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to be my student.
Yeah.
It's not like this. It's just if you like the ideas of what we do,
Yeah.
you can support the thing.
And it's a very strong movement. I mean, it's gone right. I mean, it's gone to LA, obviously, and I've seen Campbellock wear it. I mean, I've seen people in Japan, and you know what? Every time that there's a video that comes up, someone's always wearing that that shield with a t-shirt. Everyone, or the one with the slogan on it. There's always at least one person I can see.
And I thanks Demo. I thanks everybody for the support. And but you know, it's not a crew really. It's not like a close thing. You know, there's also people who support this. Like you can see Los Casos, and you can see hip hop dancers, DJs, and Nasty.
I saw that. Yeah,
they like the concept because they understand that we do this to open and break those close things.
Boundaries,
you know? And like I came out with the quote, I say, respect the past, live the present, and build the future. Too many times I've seen some guys, especially on forums and internet, they're fighting for a code they don't even understand.
Yeah.
Just because their teacher told them, like, this is the right, this is the wrong. So now you see them fight with others people. Then it creates some camps and some fighting and stuff. Also, because somebody told me about this recently, like they talk about the business and the self-promotion and this. To me it's very funny because I don't know any dancers who don't self-promote themselves. There's many ways to do it. Even saying it's for the love, it's a self-promotion in a way, because you try to be
you
nice.
have to
You try to give a good message. So if you give a give message, then people are going to say, oh, you try to be self-promotion. If you do a video, you self-promotion. I'm an artist. I love videos. I love visual things. So I decided with Priska we'll make some videos. And actually, after that, we start to feature many people in the world.
She did.
Just because they like what we ask them if they want to do a video with us, and they ask and they say okay, then we do a video. It's very simple. The recent videos, I'm not dancing in it actually, and it's featuring just new school guys from many countries. And we try to bring our savoir-faire, you know, the way we do things. And we featured many dancers from all around the world because we want to feature the dance, you know. So I understand the people who are asking me sometimes, but it's just you on the pictures. We're working on the new website now. Because now we explain how what is my philosophy about it, like open, like new school, old school together. And now, because we have many people, many videos with different people, now it's not
people
just
know
me.
that,
It's not just me anymore. What the Funk in China, Locking Up in Russia, many people now we back them up. And but they do their thing. We just help them out. We give them. I can say I'm a consultant for those events.
Of course.
I give them advice and things and stuff, but they do their thing. Also, the thing like I always tell to my students is go to every teacher. No matter what they say or think, go to every teacher. I never say stick with me and my friends. I always go to everybody, you know. And also on videos like Lockers United, who's kind of a really good base of information to me. I always support that channel, and I always share videos, not just mine actually. I share a lot of things, and more now, because I really think that people need to understand there's more than Soul Train. You know, it's much love.
There is a big gap of information that is missing for some reason. There's like Locking, Soul Train, and then something, because things weren't televised and it was really hard for document, right? So there's just a big gap of missing information.
So I share. I share people. They're not necessarily my student. It's not even people I talk with sometimes, but I share their thing. I share some Fire Lock and the P-Lock and A-Train, and next minute is going to be some Japanese cruise, and then an interview with Campbellock Jr, and the next minute Richie Rich and Caboose and Tony Gogo. I'll try to bring as much as I can, because that's how we should do. United, that's the name, right? So maybe I understand it. I didn't understand what it was. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm sharing. So now Scramble also do that. And bring some things, and there's a few others, but mostly they are like Locking for Life family, because I always say we need to do that. I like a lot of things. Sometimes I've seen that video 20,000 times, but I like it. But
it's still
again.
good,
I like it again because I think then people see, oh, he likes it, so
somebody else will
and it's support each other. Campbellock Jr. many people say, oh, I'm his student, and they like to use his name under like they are like the student of Greg. Greg was always saying that support each other, we are all one. I never heard him say You have to tell this one is wrong, this one is right.
Don't go to him.
Go to a class and have a speech about these guys are shit, these guys are good, and I'm telling you the right. I never heard that.
Yeah.
I think a teacher comes to the class, share his experience, put the food on the table, and let the people decide what they want to get.
Yeah.
And if they have nothing they want to get, that's fine. You know, I got no problem with critics. I got no problem with people say I don't like the way you dance, or I don't like the way you do look. I don't like your photos. I don't like your things.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can be friends. We can talk. We're humans.
Yeah.
I think it's a lack of communication because we used to communicate more because it was not internet.
Yeah.
The only way you have to go. I used to take flights just to hang out with Greg and Caboose and Richie. Flights to LA, spend renting cars and go to one house and go out. And it was just to meet people, listen to their stories and understand the culture.
Yeah.
When people talk about the foundation, they don't talk about foundation move. They understand the culture.
Yeah.
Like OG Skit, when he came out with Lockers United,
Yeah.
Lockers Legends, was great because he shows so
Everything,
much things.
yeah.
Like, wow. And also he always talk about the brotherhood, like the today, again, like Greg.
Yeah.
Together, you might have different point of views, you might have different styles. Why do we don't communicate? Well, we love the same dance.
Yeah.
So why do we? Because my teacher is on that camp, so he told me don't talk to you, and this one. So I never understood that. And also, I'm trying to be as much as I can good in every aspect of it. I'm still learning. I'm entering battle. I'm judging battle. I'm doing all those concepts. I'm always here to connect, and if people step up to me, they can talk to me. If they have a problem with me, they can come and battle me. I never refuse anything, and I'm here. You know, with dancers, right? You have a problem. I don't have problem.
Yeah.
I'm honest. If I have a problem, I will tell you I have a problem with that guy right now.
Yeah.
I don't have problem. You know, I learned from many teachers. I mentioned a few, but there's a lot of people I mentioned in locking, and I also have been inspired by many dancers from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
But in all my teachers, I keep a good relationship from all of them, besides two. You know, Suga Pop and Shabba Doo are the two ones. Now we have like little.
Oh really?
You know, just because we have different point of views.
Right. Okay.
I still respect them. I just dislike some things they do, some things they say.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm younger than them, so.
I mean, they're entitled to their opinion as well, right?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So they can say what they want. I just have the right to disagree. That's all.
Okay.
I don't disrespect them by saying other things. I don't say nothing else. I disagree about doing this and saying that. Okay. And that's it. Beside those two, all the others
are fine.
Fine, you know, and trust me, all my teachers, I not agree every time with Richie Rich. You know, sometimes he's saying things I'm like, wow, man. You know,
it's a bit strong there.
Yeah, that's strong, huh? But I understand where he comes from also. People need to realize where everybody's coming from.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just the message, but the understanding behind the message, right?
If you really love the dance, you might be very angry sometimes, you know? So, you know, it's one of them.
But that's just passion, isn't it? Passion, yeah.
And that's the way he expresses himself and the way he thinks. But if you really know him, you will see he's a really nice guy. But sometimes when you write things on forums, you don't get the feel. Yeah. And especially when you critique, like I said earlier, if you critique a dancer and somebody loves him, oh, you attacking my friend. It's not like that. It's never personal.
Yeah.
So to me, honestly, there's no problem. It's just people making problems. Yeah. That's it, you know. I don't understand why you have to pick one side, why you have to pick one dancer. If you ask me how many people I like nowadays, there's many young guys I like to watch. I like to watch them dance and stuff, and sometimes they are kids. In Japan, there's a few kids I love to watch. Yeah. And that's it. I don't have I'm watching only these people who looks like this and stuff. So.
Okay, cool. I think you've actually covered quite a lot of my other questions as well, unintentionally. So I've only got 2 other questions really to come to a close, and they're not really locking related. But P-Lot asks, why is the rain?
Can we talk about one thing I forgot about?
Yeah, sure, go.
Let me think, because I said a lot of things, but I remember I watched quickly the question, so I know the P-Lot one. That's the last one for me. But I'd like to talk about. I think I covered it already. No, it's really the thing is like people need to understand really it's communication.
Yeah.
In London, you know, I had 2 years. I spent 2 years in London. When I moved there, there's a guy, I forgot his name. I think it's Freddie Realness.
Oh, Fred Folk. Yeah.
He came in front of me and he looked away and he gave me his back.
Really?
You know, he saw me. And earlier we used to be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that. But that was my welcome.
Oh, right.
I was with DJ Zulu, and DJ Zulu, who tried hard in London to bring a good vibe.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy, actually. Zulu tried to make a lot of
No,
he doesn't understand either the fights.
No.
He don't understand.
He just likes to have a good time.
He wants to have a good time. So he was just right here, and he was like, wow, why did he do that? I said, I don't know. I don't know the reason, but it was my experience in London when I came in.
Aggression.
Yeah, like, wow, okay. All right. Because when I saw him, I stepped up and he went like this, he turned his back and left. So I was like, okay. I don't know that guy from long. I think I saw him start locking around late 2005 or 6, something like this. I think I saw him in a Greg Campbellock, or my class, or Greg, I think one of the other. And it was actually when I received a Greg Campbellocking master student. I was the first one in Europe to get this. Yeah. I need to put the video soon because people don't know about this, you know. And I think I saw it the first time here. Before that, I think I saw him teach Robert Hilton. He was teaching popping.
Okay.
So he's a perfect example. Why are you doing this? You know? Then after, because I think you have a question about the London scenes, I would like to talk about it.
Yeah. So the community in London as well, and how we can, well, actually, might even beyond London, but how can we bring the UK community together? Because there's pockets of lockers. You know, for example, we're in Liverpool now, and there's a few here. I mean, I'm the only one in Leeds, for example, but in London there's a big handful. But everyone seems to be disconnected. How can we bring that together?
By doing not like Freddie did, you know. That's a good start. Like if you disrespect people like that, that's not a good start. Because I could have get the piece. Yeah. And I never seen him dance in a circle. Yeah. And I don't know what his background is. Some people say it's fitness. I don't know. You know. But what I know is like you disrespect me like this. It's not a good thing to start. Yeah. I didn't do nothing.
It's not a great first impression.
Yeah. What's your problem? Yeah. You know, I never say anything about you or something, and it's the first time I'm talking about you actually. So I think it's division like that. You know. The young guys in London, every time I see them, like sometimes they're far away, they look like this. You think. They stay far away, or sometimes they shake my hand and say how you doing, and then they leave. Yeah. So I think it's really based on communication. Yeah.
Do you reckon they're quite shy? You know, because you're a big guy. You know, like a big influential guy. So, I just want to shake.
Imagine when I was meeting Don Campbell. Yeah. And Greg, and I'm small.
I totally agree.
But I have my parents. I think educate me pretty well. You know, so when I see somebody older, I give him respect. Yeah. And just by saying hi, how you doing, okay, and don't pretend you don't see me, don't pretend you don't listen, and you hiding with the glass like this. Like, I've seen so many things in London. I was like, wow, different culture. You know? In France, we straight to the face. You know, like I like you, I don't like you, you're gonna feel it.
No BS.
But I will be telling you about you, I dance against you, or if I want to know and meet you and I'm interested. So it's like I said, it's like a contradiction. Yeah. I love locking, but then when I see another locker, I don't talk to him. Or I stay away because my teacher told me it's wrong. So I don't understand that. I think that the problem in London is because they are disconnected from the elders. Yeah. Like I don't see them hang out with Pat Cesar and Jimmy Williams and those guys. I think it's disconnected. I think in between, some people from America came and told them who's right, who's wrong, so they just follow it like this.
So there's a lot of political, right? You just follow what you want to do. Yeah.
Like this, like they don't listen. They just go, "Oh, he told me that, so it must be true." You know, I think as an artist, it's like saying like you know, you just watch that painter. It's only him, nobody else. Unless you really agree, okay, do your life, but don't talk about brotherhood and scene and Greg Campbellock Jr. is my teacher. No, because Greg was talking about sharing, getting together. Different opinion, we can talk about it, that's cool. We are men, we can go on the side, talk and be cool. You don't have to be angry or disrespect people in the back. That's what sometimes they do, talk in the back, they judge people, they say things. But so I hear, because the thing is I've been in the game for like 24 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know when you say something,
That's
trust me, I
long
know
time.
it's gonna come out. And then somebody will tell me, oh, he said this. Oh, okay. So, and then if you're really passionate about the dance, you know, you're gonna come and you might have some disagreement with me. You can come in to me and say, I disagree with what you do and I like this, and we're cool. I'm not gonna. And if you talk about be shy or younger and stuff, and you come to me and I treat you like an asshole, okay, then you can say I try to talk to you and you push me away, and you really treat me bad. Then okay, but I'm open, you know. But the thing is, what do the guy in London wants? Because when you have experienced people coming in their town, they don't share, they don't come to. They just go to the workshops of the people, like they might think it's right and wrong and stuff. So I think it's about communication.
Yeah, you go to everyone, right?
I think they are talented. I see many people talented. But do they train really to be better, or they just want to have fun, or what's the thing that they are they training to enter battles, or they just do soul train line over there? And what's the concept and what's the thing? And it's available with me or anybody. When Pilok was in London, I don't see anybody really talk to him and connect with him. So it's not just me. You follow people, but maybe your teachers say don't listen to nobody, don't talk to them, and this. So maybe if you support a teacher who's giving you bad advice and bad things, because to me it's bad to say don't talk to them. What's the thing behind this?
Yeah, the evidence. Why shouldn't I talk to them? That kind of thing.
And then you talk about Greg, who was saying about together we're gonna be stronger and stuff. We need to be together. We need some people like who protect, who just talk about soul dancing. We need people who talk about new school stuff. All together is gonna be stronger. Otherwise, everybody's gonna dance the same. So I hear people talk about creativity. I try a lot of things. You know, I don't see them support me. And then 15 years after, they're gonna say exactly what I say 15 years earlier. Like it's new. And then they're gonna say, I never heard about you. And then the same time they say, you self-promotion yourself too much. You put yourself too much, but I never heard about you. I want to involve the dance, but so which area I'm wrong?
Selective hearing and selective memory.
So I'm just like this, I don't understand. And you know, I think it's about sharing, the respect and thing, you know, all those words that everybody say.
But don't actually really
apply this. And I wish we can share more things. I wish people can share my videos like I share theirs. You know, and it's like this. And together, locking is going to be stronger all together. And we will always have differences of opinion and stuff. So that's my last thing about this. You know, like just think common sense. Like why that guy say battle is wrong, but you see him judge. Don't talk to those guys. Don't talk to those guys. But he say he's representing Greg. So what? Old school guy. No matter where you're from, OGs or old school guy. If you treat the new school guys bad, don't expect them to treat you right. You know, there's no problem to disagree with somebody and older. It's okay, but it's the way you're gonna communicate.
Articulate that,
especially on the internet.
Internet you can't really tell, you know. It's just words on a screen.
That's why I decided that I will not talk anymore. I prefer to share visual things. I don't want to get into discussion. Only if you come like you come today, or people meet me and they can debate and talk or dance. Because that's what we do mostly normally, dancing. I see many people write poetry, but I never see them dance. I just see them critique and give nice, like this page thing. Sometimes it's too long, I don't even look. I just go, okay, right.
Skim,
But they don't dance. Never. So I think people need to be more relaxed and okay, we're all in the same boat. Now we have different opinion. Everybody needs to have his space to talk and say what you have to say. We don't need to fight each other because we are already a small community. So what's the point?
Like if it continues, there'll be no community left. Right?
Just be. So what was the question?
Well, before anything else to add?
I think I stopped.
Is that everything? Oh God! Misterstep is in the corner, by the way.
Right
it's
now.
A very famous Liverpool.
Cooking some pasta, you know.
Whilst he's putting his shirt on. Come say hi. Come say hi. Mr.
Check it
Step.
out.
All right, guys.
Thanks to Mr. Step
Yeah.
for making, allowing us to use his apartment, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I've got 2 questions. What do you think about sandwich salmon from Tesco?
Classic, really good sandwiches actually. I recommend everybody, especially the lockers. If you go Tesco, those little bags like this, when it's like salmon and great.
Other supermarkets are available, right?
Self-promotion, Tesco sponsor.
So, one more. What do you think about WHAM?
Oh,
Wow.
George Michael, come on. You're from the UK, you don't like George Michael. I don't understand, man.
You even have the same beard as him,
Inspiration. You see, open mind. George is the...
That's all I wanted to know.
All right, thanks.
Peace.
Mr. Step. And last one from P-Lock is, why is rain wet and why is the sun hot?
I will answer in French first.
Go ahead.
I say that, ok, Pilote, s'il n'y a pas de soleil, on verra moins. Il faut que le soleil soit là pour nous éclairer. Et l'eau est très importante, sinon on ne peut plus boire. But on top of that, I would say you have to pay the cost to be the boss. Coming up soon. Pilote events. I'll be there. He's
I'm going to be there.
Everybody's going to be there. So, Pilote, shout out.
Yeah, that's in November, by the way. Basically, it's just a full-on locking
That's
event.
the event of the after summer, November. Get ready for it. It's going to be
definitely.
crazy. I know everybody's going to be there. It's going to be
Yeah.
crazy. You got to come and support. Pay the cost to be the boss.
That's it. Well, again, Gemini, thank you for your time.
And, yeah, thank you, Funk Stylers TV.
Hey!
Really love, follow those guys. They have a lot of good things,
Thank you.
Tomi is doing hard work, so we get to support each other. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you again.
I say a lot of things I wanted to say for a long time now. I hope my word will not be twisted.
No, it's going to be raw as it
and
is.
please, when you see me somewhere, if you want to have more details about what I'm talking about, and if you disagree, that's fine to me, just be cool and enjoy the dance, have fun. This is what we're dancing for. It's not to fight each other, it's to dance together and have a good time. And we still have different opinions, that's good, I love it. I love to have a panel of different
Opinions.
flavors and stuff. So peace to all.
Cool.
Keep it up. Keep locking up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tomi.
All right.
All right. Peace, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. And more information, just check out the description below. Bye.